if you look back the last 3 years, it certainly would suggest that the world is moving into a much more chaotic state than what we've seen before, then this could last for a very, very long time. And I kind of just wanted to circle back a little bit, maybe to hear whether you have any thoughts on this, but also to the point that you made earlier, that the majority of investors are probably invested in the wrong way, because that is not the environment that the 60 portfolio was created for.
Right. I mean, I think the key thing when I hear that sort of perspective or speculation is to have humility about whether or not that is true. I think what causes macro investors to get out over their skis is where they start to project the fact that they have understanding of how macroeconomic systems work to how political systems work. Two very different things. A skill set in one does not connect to a skill set in the other. And so as an investor, it's very important to understand what your edge is and where that is and where that ends. And for me in particular, let's call it sort of geopolitical perspectives is not an area where you should listen to what I have to say, because I don't have an edge in projecting what is likely to happen. What I can say is, from a macroeconomic perspective, various geopolitical outcomes have various macroeconomic consequences, let's say, and that those consequences, the question is, do you want to be prepared for a wide variety of those different consequences given the uncertainty, or do you want to be concentrated in a particular set of outcomes? And that's where I'd emphasize, like, most people holding the 60/40 portfolio have a huge bet on peace and globalization. It's been the truth in the past, but it is not necessarily the norm in the future. And so a critical thing is to help to create a diversified portfolio that helps protect against less globalization and more global conflict is not an exercise in projecting that it might happen. It's recognizing and having the humility to understand that you don't know what's going to happen. And so it's much more important to be prepared for a lot of different outcomes than for any one particular outcome.